It might be something like name 2 areas of weakness that you are working to improve. Or what have you learned about yourself in the past few months? These are really tough questions. It's really hard to answer them. Or describe how your academic training and work-related experiences qualify you for this position. So the question might look simple at first glance, like the weakness question. What are your weaknesses that you're working to improve? It's like a double-sided sword. Like, what are your weaknesses? What are you doing to improve them? Most candidates answer the first half, they don't answer the second half. And it's the second half that they're interested in, basically. So you have to make sure that you listen really carefully. You know what they're after and why they're asking that question, and answer the questions cleverly. What happened to me when I was applying for Bilkent University, that was the most traumatic experience I had, so that's why I'm talking about it frequently. There was this person who was hired the previous year, matric graduate and my friend from high school. I called her and asked her to tell me what kind of questions they usually ask and what she had to answer the previous year. I knew all the questions. So I sat down at home, wrote down the questions, wrote down my answers and practiced them. The next day in the interview, 70% of the questions were exactly the same or similar. So they were like, this person starts asking me a question, he doesn't finish the questions, but I guess what the question is. So my answer is ready, and like they're like, okay, just shoot. So my answer was ready, and I added and changed a little bit and modified it according to the question, the way it was asked. It's important, of course, but actually it was nice. So I was ready, and there was no surprises. So if you do the same thing, I think you will benefit a lot. The question might be similar, nothing different. You will benefit a lot from that experience. So it worked for me. They accepted me that year, but I was also accepted by the modern language department, so I chose between the two. But it was nice. So any experience is nice. Apply for lots of different jobs and get experience in interview skills. That's also good. But make sure you don't reveal too much about how many applications you made, They may ask you that question. So be ready for that as well. Have you applied to any other institution? You could be honest. Of course, that time, everybody does so. You don't just choose one. I don't know, you have to find a clever way of answering that question. What can we say? I haven't thought about it. But I really like you, sort of thing. Yeah. Were you asked that question? No. No, you were not? I wasn't asked that question.
They asked me, but I said no the first time.
Yeah.
For the trial, actually. Is it correct to give an answer?
I think it is, if you're telling the truth. Was it the truth?
Yes.
Then it's okay. But then there is no other possible answer you could give. No problem. And I think you could say, oh, all right, I applied for other institutions, but I think this is the one that works for me for this and that reason. Okay? Being honest is not a bad thing. They can tell whether you're lying or you're faking. I think that's worse than telling the truth.
I think saying that you are, for instance, very impatient as a person when you're talking about yourself or your weaknesses, it's not a very good thing as a teacher.
Impatient.
Yeah. I'm very impatient. I can't stand you. It's honest, but it's not very nice.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean any weakness can work as long as you talk about what you're doing to improve it. Yes. Don't say perfectionist. I'm too hardworking. I'm too friendly. So avoid those cliches. Be honest about yourself. What your weakness. They are not really interested in what your weakness is. So it's kind of a question, a a regular question. How you handle the question is what they're interested in. Whether you are lying or not, whether you are being truthful about yourself, your attitude while answering that question, it's what they are looking for. So your answer is not everything. How you answer the question is mostly more important, I guess. Anything else? No? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure. It's like I feel like I am paying my debts to the department because then I like the teachers and the environment and everything. And you do the same after you start working. Come back and do something for the students. Okay? Thank you so much. If you want to see me, ask anything, talk to me, you see my email address.